Hello ladies and gentlemen, I was just about to do some MVM and remembered I haven't done the Pyro video yet, so I'm going to do the Pyro video. So, the Pyro is a pretty simple class, okay? You have a flamethrower, you catch as many things on fire as you can. And let me just take all this stuff off so you can see what the real Pyro looks like. Shotgun, blast people in the face. Fire axe, hit people. It's just simple as that. But there's a secret thing to the Pyro. If you right click, it will how do I say this? You will do a compression blast. And the compression blast will push stuff back, reflect projectiles and all the other stuff. Basically, right now what we're going to be looking at is the Pyro and his weapons, not any of that reflecting business that'll be in another video. But basically, when this loads, I will show you what we mean. So, I'll be back when it does. Okay guys, I'm back with the Pyro. Basically, if you hold down left click, fire comes out. Right click, you get this compression blast. Basically, that's all the flamethrower really does. And your secondary, just a normal shotgun. Your last one is a fire axe, which you can, hit stuff and it's about, you can hit people from about that range with that. The effective range for this is about that far. Effective range for this is about that far. I do not know why I was hitting like that. So, let's look at some of the other weapons. The backburner. Let's look at the backburner. Not only does it look like you have a dragon on the front of your flamethrower, it also, if you get someone involved behind, it crits them. But if you right click, it costs so much more than it used to. Now let's move on to the degreaser. The degreaser basically is a flare gun, less damage, air blast is the same, but you have an amazing fast weapon switch. Next we'll go up to the Nostro Napalmer. The Nostro Napalmer is basically the normal flamethrower. Next one is the Phlogistinator, which it does an interesting effect, and I can't air blast. But if I taunt when my you see it in the corner by my ammo, the meter goes up, I get crits. This is the weapon that most supports the WM1 Pyro and everything, so I don't use it that often, even though I do have a class for it. And the last one is the Rainblower. It just makes everything a happy time. Really, looks like the normal flamethrower, but when I do it, it shoots fire. Air blast is the same. It just really, if somebody doesn't have pyro vision and look at this, all they see is a pyro shooting fire. But the main thing you can tell is this taunt. That's one of the only killing taunts for pyro. So now that we have all these, let's move on to these. Next up is the flare gun. It's a projectile that shoots. You can get it to shoot very long ranges. Other than the shotgun, it's a quite long-range weapon. And basically, it catches people on fire. And if you catch someone on fire with this, then hit them with this, it does a 90 damage crit, which is really good. Next up, we have the Man Melter. Basically what it does is it has more projectile speed, it does not require ammo. If you right-click and extinguish players, and you gain one random guaranteed crit. And basically, how you know when this is reloaded, you hear that little beep, and then that means you can shoot again. And as you can see, I can't. This is like the sucking in animation. There's nothing on fire I can suck in. So, yeah. Next up is the reserve shooter. the reserve shooter has a faster weapon switch than normal. If you mini-crit airborne targets for 5 seconds after being deployed. You can mini-crit airborne targets 5 seconds after the shotgun or them being in the air being deployed. Your clip side is decreased by 2. That's the only issue with this. Next up is the Scorch Shot. The Scorch Shot does less damage, and the flare knockbacks people if you hit them head on with it. But there is an area of effect damage, so basically what that means you can do is you can do small Scorch Shot jumps. Like, see, I can't get up here. I can do it now with the Scorch Shot. So the Scorch Shot does, because I can't get up here with anything. Now I can. And the Scorch Shot just ignites people in an area of effect and knocks people back if you hit them. There's one more on here that I don't have, which is the detonator. Basically, it's like the Scorch Shot, except you can randomly detonate it whenever you want. So let's go back to the shotgun. The fire axes. The sharpened volcano fragment. Basically, this weapon it looks really cool, but it does less damage, and if you hit someone, they get caught on fire. That's it. It is one of the worst weapons in the game. The extinguisher. No random crits. 50% less damage against non-burning players. You say to them, why would I use this? Well, if you hit them from behind, you get 100% chance of a critical hit on burning players. And if you hit someone on the front, you get mini crits. The back scratcher. It looks like a rake with a, I don't know if that's blood or dirt. Basically, it has increased damage. You get 50% more health from health packs, but you get less health from healers, medics. I don't know why they call it healers. The home wrecker looks like a hammer. Really cool. Basically, the home wrecker, 100% more damage against buildings, which is amazing. It removes sappers if you hit them, and it has 25% less damage to players. So it is a good deal. The lollipop, basically, all it does is you go into Pyro Land again, and this time you have a lollipop you can bash people's heads in. It's just like the normal flare axe. The last one, actually this is not the last one, I don't have one, is the power jack. Makes you run faster. You take more damage, you get damage vulnerability, but you get 75 health on kill. There's one more in here I don't have, which is the Neon Annihilator. It's like this, except less damage to players, and I believe has a smaller debuff to buildings, but you get instant crits if you're in the water. So, you may be asking, what are some things we can play as this? Well, one of the things you can play as this is you can play the Pyro. The Pyro uses the default flamethrower, which this time I'm using the Nostro Napalmer. And the Scorch Shot and the Home Wrecker. Basically, you stick around your NG friends, hit off any zappers, ignite any pyros, ignite any spies, ignite any spies, ignite any spies, remove sappers, which is really good. Another strategy. This strategy I do not condone at all. I think it's a horrible, horrible, horrible strategy that you should never use. The WM1 Pyro. This is my WM1 Pyro class, which I never use. Basically, the WM1 Pyro, nicknamed Selfish Pyro from Paladin, doesn't care about anyone else but himself. This is meant to just rocket people and do this. This is meant to hit people from really far away, and also maybe extinguish teammates. This is just to get to the front line faster. I really like the Power Jack, if you can't tell. Now, the last one, which I think is the best that I do condone all Pyros use, is the Puff and Sting. I'll talk more about Puff and Sting later on. Basically, since the degreaser has less damage overall, less afterburn, less damage, but a faster weapon switch, you can do something with light them on fire, air blast them back, hit them with the flare gun, 90 damage crits. Now, most people will use the extinguisher with this because it works. I use the power jack. Why? I just like the power jack. And yeah, so that will be Pyro. Let's see if we can do another combination. Oh yeah, we could do back burner, which is kind of a WM1 Pyro. We can do flare gun, and this is what I used to use, back scratcher. It's kind of more selfish in the same way. But basically, you can make really anything with these. And you have a shotgun and stuff. But basically, please, guys, play some Pyro wisely. Don't WM1. Don't run at people going. I used to do that, and I'll show you a video how to do that at a later date with the degreaser, flare gun, and maybe the extinguisher. This is where it's at right here. Oh, yeah, I need it. Oh, yeah. Basically, puff, sing, air blast, hit. That's how you really do it. And I'll have a video containing how to puff and sting or advanced pyro guide. And I'll have advanced pyro guide videos later on. But I'm going to switch this back to the power jack because I really like the power jack. It's fun to hammer time people sometimes. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like, tell your friends about me. And don't make this your main channel. You watch, just come back every once in a while and watch me a little bit. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye, folks.